Welcome on the news. Thank you for staying with us. And the Northern Electricity Distribution Company has disconnected power supply to the Dr. Hilla Limann Technical University in Wa. The institution owes NEDCO about 2.2 million Ghana cedis. Correspondent Rafiq Salam reports that the Wa High Court and the Wa Nursing Training College were also disconnected for defaulting on a combined amount of a little over 41,000 Ghana cedis.
Volta River Authority, Northern Electricity Distribution Company, VRA NEDCO, Upper West Regions Area Manager, Engineer Francis Yemiso, first painted the debt situation of his outfit to power generators and transmitters and why the need to embark on the revenue mobilization drive.
VRA NEDCO in general, customers owe us about 1.2 billion Ghana cedis. We owe the power generators, that is mainstream VRA, 1.6 billion Ghana cedis. And then the transmitters, which is Greco, we owe them 481 million Ghana cedis. The department, which is VRA NEDCO, need 120 million Ghana cedis to make power available to our customers. As we speak, we are able to collect only 85 million Ghana cedis from our customers monthly. And currently, we have a deficit of 35 million cedis every month. And if we don't work on this, it means the business will come to a halt.
Consumers of electricity in the Upper West area owed VRA NEDCO staggering amount of 107 million Ghana cedis. 82 million of the amount is owed by the ministries, departments, municipal and district assemblies and agencies, while the rest is owed by domestic consumers. The first institution to be disconnected was Dr. Hilla Limann Technical University. They owed VRA NEDCO an amount of 2.2 million Ghana cedis. After a current meeting with authorities of the university, it however failed to yield the desired results, resulting in the disconnection.
You have indicated already, they have disconnected the university, power supply to the university. We are now continuing with the negotiation. We have sent commitment on their part to pay substantial amount, but we haven't reached that negotiation or agreement yet. When we are done with that, they also promised to pay some amount today. When we take the check and we have agreed on the payment plan, we will reconnect them.
Writing examination, whilst others were holding lectures. It therefore brought to a halt activities at the university. The affected students are calling for help.
We just had a light out and we are struggling because the weather is warm and we need light to power the fans for us so we can have a conducive environment to learn.
Maybe if we enter the class, you will not feel comfortable. Besides, people are writing exams, so inside there it will be very hot. Imagine they put a difficult paper in front of you with a warm environment. You know, you are not going to feel it right. So actually it's affecting us, but okay, we are praying to God that maybe whatever the problem might be, it should be settled. And anybody that can help to sustain their lives, and then it will be stable for us, and we'll be very grateful.
The Wa Nursing Training College and the Wa High Court were next to be disconnected. They collectively owed 41,000 Ghana cedis.
The High Court is under disconnection. There's no light there. We've disconnected them because they owe 15,000. And the 15,000, you can see their current bill is not that big. So it means that they've accumulated over the years. And that is major reason why we are disconnected. Actually, this exercise, we are collecting everything.
The Simon Dieudonne Domba University for Business and Integrated Development Studies, SDD-UBIS, the Sir John Amadia College of Education, and the Wanas Palace had a least lack as their disconnections were postponed.
UBIS owe 8.8 million Ghana cedis, but there's a letter from the Ministry of Energy, Ministry of Education, directing us to directing that they are going to pay all their bills effective 2021, and after 2021 all other bills that comes they should pay, and for that they are doing the needful. The bill they owe now is 145,000, which they are preparing to pay. They were even in the process of issuing a check before we left there. They are waiting for the Chancellor to sign his portion, then they can issue that amount, 145,000. One Palace owe 61,000 cedis, and per the directive, the District Assembly is supposed to make payment to that effect. But per our records, for close to 2 years, no payment have been made. So we are engaging, and we believe that something good will come out from our engagement.
For now, VRNERCO is saying that the exercise is about revenue mobilization, but if the customers fail to pay up, it is there, they will be disconnected. Reporting for Joy News, Rafik Salam. Wow.
Well, staying on that beat, NEDCO also disconnected power supply to the offices of the Allied Health Professional Zonal Council in Tamale, which was caught in an illegal connection. The occupants had bypassed the meter and were tapping the power directly from source. Martina Bugri reports.
Speaking to journalists after the disconnection exercise, the area manager for NEDCO, Elvis Akakpo, said they will conduct their investigations and bill the Allied Health Sciences accordingly.
Going on our normal monitoring of the revenue mobilization, we announced some 3 days ago, and then we visited the Regional Health Directorate. They share the same compound with Allied Health Sciences. I think they use the same meter, and we decided to monitor the meter. When we came, we realized that the Allied Health Sciences, they have connected direct, and they have illegally bypassed the meter that they are using with the Ghana Health Service, the Regional Health Directorate. So the Regional Health Directorate, they are on the prepaid, they are paying for it, but the Allied Health Science section, they have bypassed the meter direct. So, and we don't know when they did it. They claim they did it some few weeks ago, but we will not be able to confirm that. So we will do our own investigation and then subject them to the process and make sure that the law will take its course. Like any other customer, we have to analyze, we pick the load, we have to analyze, and then we will recover by estimating their consumptions and ensuring that we'll bill them with it. Customer on prepaid, we have the right to visit the meter and ensure that the meter is capturing the load that is supposed to be capturing. You know, we have experiences where a lot of people have bypassed meters in Tamale and all that. So it's a normal routine practice that we do by monitoring the meters and ensuring that they are capturing their consumptions.
At the High Court in Tamale, the manager in charge of bailing and revenue collection, Hilda Jenny Alahassan, said the court had a commitment to pay and had paid 54,000 Ghana cedis.
We are currently at the High Court premises of Tamale Metro. I think we engaged the staff, the officer in charge, and we realized that they made payment of 54,000 just last month. Okay, I think in February. Okay, so we realized that they have a plan of consistent payments, but it's not very good. But because they are committed to paying, we agree that we'll further engage them to fast track things, but they haven't been defaulting anymore.
How much are they owing?
Currently, I think the balance on the account is about 64,000, and that includes February bill, February and March. They haven't gotten 2 bills, so we are giving them 2 weeks to clear that. Otherwise, we'll come back and discuss.
The team also moved to the Iyoko offices. Madam Hilda said they had an account for Iyoko, but when they arrived, they noticed they were using a prepaid meter. She said they will go back and reconcile the issue and find out where the lapse occurred.
The Iyoko offices. In our list, we had a Iyoko account that we were following up on. But when we got there, we realized they have a prepaid meter and they are buying up to date. I think this month they did a purchase. So we agree with them that we will go and find out what really happened, because in our data system, our database, we have a lot of information. We don't know what happened. one customer can apply twice, it can be created. So we agree that we'll go and find out and really try to locate that particular local account. So that's what has happened. That is why we are not disconnecting them. They are on prepaid and they are buying bills.
But the one that you have come with, the one that you came with, what's the bill on that?
I think it's about over 140,000.
So in this case, there are two accounts.
There are two accounts, but we'll still find out because normally, the addressing system makes it difficult for us to easily locate. We are not moving with the meter readers. So the other step we can go ahead with is to get the meter reader for that route to tell us where he's been sending that bill to, and then we can take the necessary action.
Well, on our next story, the United States Agency for International Development says the current macroeconomic situation in the country has made the cost of credit and farm inputs very high for farmers. USAID believes the situation is affecting the production and yields of farmers across the country who have a difficulty in accessing such critical services to boost their production. There's more in this report.
Market Systems and Resilience activity sponsored by the USAID provides about $6 million to service providers who want to help farmers. Part of the funds has been recycled for access to agricultural finance for smallholder farmers. The organization launched the product for financial institutions, banks, input dealers, and transactional advisors to help take advantage of those incentives to provide services for businessmen and women and smallholder farmers. Raymond Dente is the team lead for agribusiness and financial services.
Currently, there are two challenges facing farmers. Credit is so high because of the current macroeconomic situation, and the cost of inputs is rising. Ghana's CD is not too, the situation with the CD against the dollar, CD is falling, rising, so it's making the situation so volatile. So even where farmers have money to buy, the input prices are rising. So the whole program is to see how we can help the farmers access the inputs at very competitive prices. And the top most input is fertilizer, as we all know, but we have others like seeds and chemicals. So over the period since October last year, we've worked with major actors, the input companies, the financial institutions, the commercial growers, the smallholder farmers up north, to see how we can bring in some incentives to take away the pain points, so to speak. So we are saying that instead of the banks or the financial institutions lending cash for farmers to borrow and then buy inputs, we need to look at a more creative way of doing that.
Deputy Chief of Party of the Market Systems and Resilience activity of the USAID, Cecil Osei, says they are impressed with the outcome of the engagement with the stakeholders.
This is about the third time we've met them. In the Market Systems and Resilience activity, we have something we call co-creation. So we have been co-creating with the stakeholders, the banks, the farmers, to get this product together. So today, even though it appeared like something that we have done together, there were still interesting discussions, various angles. New people came and they also expressed their opinions about the products and how it can help both their firms and the smallholder farmers. Programmatically, we are going to do the same thing in Tamale, Polga, and Wa, to make sure that everybody is aware of what is in it and everybody is interested. We get more people interested to access. But from here, we'll also be working with those who even cannot apply, to see how we can help them apply based on the ideas they have, so that they can apply to the grant, and we will process and then give out the funding. So those three products are very, very important, particularly the third one, who talks about transactional advisors. They are to make sure that business people get their documents and papers and their requirements for any loan together.
With the launch of the product and services, it is expected that farmers will have the ease of doing business and have access to farm input and credit at very competitive prices.
In the next story now, Vice President of the Pan-African Mosquito Control Association, Ghana, is asking Ghanaians to protect themselves against the Anopheles stephensi mosquito. Dr. Kingsley Bedu notes that Anopheles stephensi has its peak biting time in the evenings. In the first of our series on Anopheles stephensi, Joy News' medical correspondent, Dr. Netta Pasram, delves into that issue.
In recent times, there's been so much buzz about a new mosquito species in the Ghanaian terrain, the Anopheles stephensi. What are the peak biting times of the Anopheles stephensi? Is it late afternoon or deep in the night?
There's a particular study that describes its peak biting times. Okay, so for example, the Anopheles gambiae we know will normally bite in the night. Okay, between midnight, early mornings, where people are vulnerable, completely asleep. Okay, but the peak biting times we've seen has been reported in publications is the fact that they start biting from 6 to 9 before you go to sleep. This is one of the highest times that it bites, you know, and also has what they call the behavior plasticity. It can change it. For example, we know that in rural areas, in places that they like to bite animals. They can also bite humans if humans are there. They can bite and rest indoors. They can choose to bite and rest outdoors. Okay, so there could be many different things, but this is quite unique. The fact that it's peak biting times from 6 to about 9 p.m. before you go to sleep.
In the spirit of protecting oneself against this mosquito, Anopheles stephensi, it is important to sleep under insecticide-treated mosquito nets and also to make use of indoor residual spraying. Additionally, you could wear long clothing or make use of insect repellents. For Joy News, Dr. Netta Pasram.
Now, the Fisheries and Aquaculture Developmental Ministry has begun a piloting of the electronic monitoring system in industrial vessels operating in Ghana's exclusive economic zone to fight illegal fishing. We'll bring you more details of that story in this report.
The industrial sector contributes significantly to the fish production in Ghana. It consists of the tuna and the trawl sector. Despite the contributions, the sector has challenges in illegal, unregulated and unreported fishing, harvesting of juvenile fish, excessive bycatch and use of unapproved nets. As a result, some measures have been put in place to help address the challenges. They include the implementation of the ministerial directive on trawl gear, application of vessel monitoring system, and a host of others to collect other scientific and compliance information. Addressing a news conference at Tema to begin the pilot process, Fisheries and Aquaculture Development Minister Mavis Hawakumsin says the move is to pave way for the installation of the systems on all industrial fishing vessels that operate in Ghana's exclusive economic zone.
The IUU fishing activities has brought negative international pressure on Ghana, resulting in a second yellow card being issued by the European Union. Currently, MOFAD and Fisheries Commission is implementing a vessel monitoring system and automatic identification system as a means of monitoring fishing activities of vessels at sea. However, these measures are inadequate in getting real-time evidence of activities on board fishing vessels at sea. The deployment of EMS on industrial trawlers has therefore come at the appropriate time. EMS uses onboard video cameras, global positioning system, and sensors to automatically track and verify fishing activities on board fishing vessels.
Mavis Hawakumsin details how helpful the electronic monitoring system would be for the fishing industry.
The cameras of EMS record videos 24 hours a day and will record, among others, dumping of fish at sea by trawlers. It is our expectation that the EMS will complement existing measures being implemented by the ministry, such as the ministerial directives on third year. Application of VMS, MAIS, port inspections and the observer program. It will also improve transparency and provide better oversight for Ghana to discharge her flag state's responsibility.
The leadership of the industrial trawlers commended the ministry for helping to fight piracy using the electronic monitoring system.
It is the expectation of JITA that since most of the vessel owners are not at sea to know what happens on board the vessels during fishing, the EMS, which is intended to collect video images and VMS data, will help the owners to know the total catch landed by vessels, species landed, conduct of seafarers on board the vessels, and as well as track the movement of the vessels. Since the initiative is a pilot program, JITA want to appeal to Moffat FC to collaborate and cooperate well with members who are voluntarily giving their vessels for the piloting exercise. We further urge Moffat to open and be transparent in information sharing.
A memorandum of understanding was signed by the various parties to cement the process. Richard Kwejinyako, Joy News, Accra.
Well, that's how we cap off the news. Up next, the news review, and from here, my colleague Bernice Abubedo Lanza takes over.